Welcome back, lucky American coins. The 1981 United States 1-cent coin, commonly called the Lincoln Penny, is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history. At first glance, this small copper-colored coin may look ordinary, but behind its simple appearance is a story of tradition, craftsmanship, American history, and the incredible world of coin collecting. Millions of Lincoln cents were produced in 1981, but collectors continue searching through old collections, coin jars, and pocket change because some examples may contain unusual characteristics, mint errors, or exceptional conditions that make them more desirable. The Lincoln cent has been one of the most recognizable coins in the United States for more than a century. The series began in 1909 when the United States Mint introduced a new 1-cent coin featuring President Abraham Lincoln. This was a historic moment because Lincoln became the first real person to appear on a regular circulating United States coin. Before this change, American coins mostly featured symbolic images such as Lady Liberty. The decision to honor Lincoln reflected his importance in American history and his role as a leader who helped preserve the nation during one of its most difficult periods. The 1981 Lincoln Penny continued the same famous design tradition that had existed for decades. The coin represented the final years of the traditional bronze Lincoln cent before the major composition change that occurred in 1982. This makes the 1981 penny historically interesting because it belongs to the last generation of classic copper-based Lincoln cents that Americans used in daily transactions. The obverse, or front side, of the 1981 Lincoln cent displays the portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing to the right. The portrait was originally created by famous sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose design became one of the longest-running coin designs in United States history. Lincoln's image is surrounded by important inscriptions that carry deep meaning. Above his head appears the phrase "In God We Trust," representing the national motto of the United States. On the left side of the portrait is the word liberty, symbolizing freedom and independence. On the right side is the date 1981, which identifies the year the coin was produced. Depending on where the coin was made, a small mint mark may appear below the date. The United States Mint operated several facilities that produced Lincoln cents during this period. Coins made at the Denver Mint carry a small D mint mark, while proof coins produced at the San Francisco Mint carry an S mint mark. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint traditionally have no mint mark. These small letters are extremely important to collectors because they help identify where a coin was produced. The reverse, or back side, of the 1981 Lincoln cent features the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. This design was introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The image of the memorial replaced the earlier wheat stock design that appeared on Lincoln cents from 1909 through 1958. The Lincoln Memorial reverse was created by Frank Gasparo, who served as chief engraver of the United States Mint. The reverse contains several important symbols and inscriptions. At the top appears United States of America, identifying the country that issued the coin. Above the Lincoln Memorial is the phrase E pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. This phrase represents the unity of the United States and the idea that many states and people form one nation. Below the memorial appears the denomination 1 cent, showing the official value of the coin. The 1981 Lincoln cent was produced using a bronze alloy. The coin contains approximately 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This composition gave the coin its traditional reddish color when it was newly minted. Over time, exposure to air, moisture, and handling caused many coins to develop brown or darker surfaces. Collectors often classify copper cents by color, including red, RD, red-brown, RB, and brown, BN. A coin with strong original red color and a high grade can sometimes be worth much more than a circulated example. The official specifications of the 1981 Lincoln cent include a weight of approximately 3.11 grams. The diameter is about 19 millimeters, and the thickness is around 1.52 millimeters. The edge of the coin is smooth, also known as a plain edge. These measurements help collectors identify genuine examples and distinguish normal coins from unusual pieces. During 1981, the United States Mint produced billions of Lincoln cents to meet the demand for everyday commerce. Because so many were made, ordinary examples are common today. However, coin collectors understand that large production numbers do not completely eliminate the possibility of valuable discoveries. A coin's value depends on many factors, including rarity, condition, mint errors, and collector demand. One of the most exciting areas of coin collecting involves mint errors. A mint error occurs when something unusual happens during the manufacturing process. Modern coin production involves many complex steps, including preparing metal sheets, creating blanks, striking coins with dies, and inspecting finished pieces. Even with advanced technology, occasional mistakes can occur. A 1981 Lincoln cent with a genuine error can attract attention from collectors. Some errors are obvious, while others require expert examination. Examples of collectible errors include doubled dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and other unusual production mistakes. A doubled die is one of the most famous types of coin errors. This occurs when the design on a coin die is accidentally impressed more than once during the die-making process, creating a doubled appearance on parts of the coin. Collectors carefully examine letters, numbers, and design elements to determine whether doubling is genuine. True doubled dies are much rarer than ordinary coins with damage or machine doubling. Off-center errors happen when a blank coin is not properly positioned between the dies during striking. The result is a design that appears shifted toward one side of the coin. The amount of the shift, whether the date is visible, and the overall appearance determine collector interest. A dramatic off-center strike with clear identifying information can become a desirable collectible. Another interesting error is a broad strike. Normally, a coin is struck inside a collar that controls its shape and size. If the collar does not function correctly, the metal may spread outward during striking, creating a wider-looking coin. These errors show the physical process behind coin production and are valued because they are different from normal examples. A clipped planchet error occurs before the coin is struck. When metal sheets are cut into circular blanks, the cutting process can sometimes create an improperly shaped blank. If a coin is struck from this unusual piece, part of the final coin may be missing. Collectors often find these errors fascinating because they reveal a mistake that happened before the coin even received its design. The possibility of discovering a rare 1981 Lincoln cent error is what keeps many collectors searching. The dream of finding a valuable coin hidden among ordinary pennies has inspired countless people to study coins. Stories of rare discoveries create excitement, but careful research is necessary because many online claims exaggerate coin values. A common misunderstanding is that any old penny can automatically be worth millions of dollars. In reality, age alone does not determine value. Many older coins are common, while some newer coins with rare errors can be extremely valuable. Professional collectors focus on verified rarity and documented sales rather than internet rumors. The claim that a 1981 Lincoln cent has a market value of $190 million is not supported by official auction records or recognized coin market information. A normal 1981 penny is usually worth around face value or a small premium depending on condition. Some rare varieties or major errors may bring higher prices, but a $190 million valuation would represent an extraordinary and historically significant discovery. The real fascination of the 1981 Lincoln cent comes from its connection to American history. This coin was created during a period of economic change when the cost of copper was increasing. The traditional bronze composition that had been used for decades was becoming expensive to produce, leading the government to search for alternatives. The result was the introduction of the copper-plated zinc Lincoln cent in 1982. Because 1981 was one of the final years of the bronze Lincoln cent, collectors often pay attention to high-quality examples from this year. Coins with brilliant original surfaces, strong details, and attractive color can be much more desirable than worn examples found in circulation. The story of the 1981 Lincoln Penny is not just about money. It is about history preserved in metal. Every coin passed through countless hands, traveled through different places, and played a small role in everyday American life. A simple penny can connect collectors with the people, technology, and economic conditions of the year it was created. The search for valuable coins continues because every coin has a possibility of being different. Collectors examine details such as lettering, numbers, mint marks, surfaces, and strike quality. Sometimes the smallest difference can separate an ordinary coin from a collectible treasure. The 1981 Lincoln cent remains a popular subject among beginners and experienced collectors alike. Its familiar design, historical importance, and potential for interesting errors make it a coin worth studying. While it is not a guaranteed fortune worth hundreds of millions of dollars, it remains an important part of United States coin history and an example of how even the smallest objects can carry remarkable stories. The 1981 Lincoln cent continues to attract attention from collectors because it represents an important chapter in the history of American coinage. Although billions of these coins were produced, collectors know that every coin has unique characteristics. Some examples may show unusual features caused by the minting process, and these differences can create excitement among people who search through old collections, inherited coin jars, and boxes of saved change. The value of a 1981 Lincoln penny is determined by several important factors. The first factor is the coin's condition. A heavily worn penny that spent many years circulating among millions of other coins usually has very little additional value. However, a coin that remained in excellent condition with sharp details, original color, and a strong strike can attract more interest from collectors. Professional grading services examine coins carefully and assign grades that help buyers and sellers understand quality. The second major factor is rarity. A coin becomes valuable when fewer examples exist compared with the number of collectors who want them. Since millions of 1981 Lincoln cents were made, common examples are easy to find. The coins that become valuable are usually those with unusual characteristics, such as rare mint errors, exceptional preservation, or special varieties that are difficult to locate. The third factor is the type of error found on the coin. Coin errors are one of the most exciting areas of collecting because they show mistakes that occurred during the manufacturing process at the United States Mint. A normal coin follows a precise design, but an error coin may have something unexpected that makes it different from millions of others. One of the most interesting possibilities for a 1981 Lincoln cent is a doubled die error. A doubled die happens when the coin die itself receives a doubled impression during production. Because the die is used to strike many coins, the mistake can appear on multiple examples. Collectors carefully study areas such as the date, the letters in Liberty, and the inscriptions on the reverse to identify true doubling. It is important to understand that not every appearance of doubling is valuable. Many coins show a type of doubling called machine doubling, which occurs during the striking process. Machine doubling often appears flat and damaged rather than raised and clearly separated. True doubled die coins are much more desirable because the doubling was created during the die-making stage. Another possible error found in Lincoln cents is an off-center strike. During normal production, a blank piece of metal called a planchet must be perfectly positioned between the upper and lower dies. If the planchet moves during striking, the design may appear shifted. A small off-center error may only add a small premium, while a dramatic off-center strike with the date and mint mark visible can become much more collectible. Collectors also search for broad strike errors. Normally, a coin is held inside a collar during striking, which keeps the coin's shape and diameter consistent. If the collar fails or is missing, the metal can spread outward when struck. The result is a coin that looks wider and flatter than a normal example. These errors provide a fascinating look into the process of coin production. Another unusual mistake is a clipped planchet. Before coins are struck, large sheets of metal are cut into round blanks. If the cutting machine does not operate correctly, a blank may have a missing section. When the blank is later struck, the finished coin shows a curved or straight missing area. The size and shape of the clip influence collector interest. Die cracks and die breaks are also collected by many enthusiasts. Coin dies are made from hardened metal, but after striking thousands or millions of coins, they can develop cracks. These cracks can transfer onto the coins being produced. Some collectors enjoy these errors because they show the physical history of the die itself. A more dramatic category is a wrong planchet error. This occurs when a coin is accidentally struck on a metal blank intended for another denomination. These mistakes are extremely rare because the mint has strict procedures to separate different coin blanks. A genuine wrong planchet 1981 Lincoln cent would be a highly interesting discovery. The mint mark is another important feature collectors examine. A small letter under the date identifies where the coin was made. Philadelphia-produced cents generally have no mint mark, Denver cents have a D, and San Francisco proof cents have an S. The mint location can influence collector demand, especially when combined with special condition or errors. The 1981 Lincoln cent was produced during a period when the United States Mint was preparing for major changes. The price of copper had increased significantly, making traditional bronze pennies more expensive to manufacture. The government began searching for a cheaper alternative, which eventually led to the introduction of copper-plated zinc cents in 1982. This transition gives 1981 cents historical importance. They represent some of the final regular issue bronze Lincoln pennies produced for everyday circulation. Many collectors appreciate these coins because they mark the end of a long era of traditional copper coinage. The color of a 1981 Lincoln cent can also influence value. Freshly produced copper coins often have a bright red appearance. Over time, copper reacts with the environment and changes color. Collectors use categories such as red, red-brown, and brown to describe the appearance of copper cents. A high-grade red 1981 Lincoln cent can be significantly more desirable than a darker circulated coin. The condition of a coin is often described using the Sheldon grading scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. A coin graded near the top of this scale is considered extremely well preserved. Coins in very high grades are rare because most pennies were handled, circulated, scratched, or exposed to environmental damage. Many collectors use magnification tools to examine Lincoln cents. A small magnifying glass or microscope can reveal details that are impossible to see with the naked eye. They look for doubled letters, unusual shapes, missing design elements, and other clues that may indicate an error. The internet has increased interest in coin collecting because stories about rare coins spread quickly online. Videos and articles often show dramatic claims about pennies being worth millions of dollars. While some rare coins have achieved impressive prices at auctions, many online claims are exaggerated. Serious collectors verify information through professional grading companies, auction records, and trusted numismatic references. The idea of a 1981 penny worth $190 million attracts attention because people enjoy the dream of discovering hidden treasure. However, the actual coin market works based on evidence. A coin's price is determined by what collectors are willing to pay for a genuine, authenticated example. Without proof of rarity and demand, a large price claim is only a rumor. A realistic market value for a normal 1981 Lincoln cent is usually close to its face value. Uncirculated examples, proof coins, and coins with verified errors may have higher values. Exceptional specimens can sometimes sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on their rarity and grade. The importance of authentication cannot be ignored. Valuable coins are often examined by professional organizations that verify authenticity and condition. This process protects collectors from counterfeit coins and false error claims. A coin that appears unusual should be carefully evaluated before assigning a high value. The 1981 Lincoln cent also has educational value. It teaches people about metallurgy, manufacturing, history, and economics. By studying one small coin, collectors can learn about the technology used by the United States Mint and the challenges involved in producing billions of identical objects. The Lincoln penny is also a connection between generations. Many people remember saving pennies as children, searching for interesting dates, or receiving coins from family members. These personal connections make coin collecting more than just a financial hobby. It becomes a way to preserve memories and explore history. A 1981 Lincoln cent with an error represents the possibility that something ordinary may contain something unusual. The excitement comes from careful observation and patience. Collectors understand that valuable discoveries are rare, but the search itself is part of the enjoyment. The 1981 penny is a reminder that history can exist in the smallest objects. It carries the image of Abraham Lincoln, the symbols of the United States, and the story of American manufacturing during a period of change. Whether worth a few cents or a premium amount because of a rare error, every 1981 Lincoln cent has a place in the long story of American coinage. The world of coin collecting is filled with stories of unexpected discoveries, and the 1981 Lincoln cent is a perfect example of why collectors continue searching through coins decades after they were produced. While most 1981 pennies are common and remain close to their original 1-cent value, the possibility of finding an unusual example creates excitement. A small difference in a coin's design, a mistake during production, or an exceptional state of preservation can completely change how collectors view that piece of metal. The United States Mint has always used highly advanced equipment and strict quality control procedures to produce coins. However, because millions of coins are made every year, occasional mistakes can happen. These mistakes are known as mint errors, and they are one of the most fascinating areas of numismatics. Collectors are interested in errors because they provide evidence of the manufacturing process and create coins that are different from normal examples. A 1981 Lincoln cent error coin is valuable not because it is old, but because it may be unusual. Many people believe that any coin from the past automatically becomes rare, but this is not true. Rarity depends on how many examples exist and how many collectors want them. Since the 1981 Lincoln cent was produced in very large quantities, ordinary examples are easy to find. The coins that attract serious attention are those with verified errors or exceptional qualities. One of the most discussed types of Lincoln cent errors is the double die. This type of error has fascinated collectors for decades because it creates a visible difference in the coin's design. A double die occurs before the coin is struck. During the creation of the die, an alignment mistake causes the design to be impressed more than once in slightly different positions. When coins are later struck using that die, the doubling appears on every coin produced from it. Collectors carefully inspect the date, lettering, and design elements to identify possible doubling. The areas most often examined include the numbers in the date, the word Liberty, and the inscriptions on the reverse side. True doubled die examples show clear separation between the doubled images. This is different from ordinary damage or machine doubling, which usually does not create the same collectible appearance. Another fascinating error category is the off-center strike. This occurs when a blank coin is not properly centered between the dies during striking. A normal coin receives a complete image because the planchet is perfectly positioned. If the blank shifts, part of the design may be missing or moved toward the edge. The value of an off-center 1981 Lincoln cent depends on how dramatic the error is. A small shift may have limited value, while a major error with the date and important details visible can attract collectors. Broad strike errors reveal another part of the minting process. Coins are normally struck inside a collar that keeps them from expanding too far. If the collar is missing or fails during production, the coin may spread outward when struck. The result is a coin that is larger and flatter than normal. These errors are especially interesting because they show what happens when one part of the striking equipment does not function correctly. Another type of collectible mistake is the clipped planchet. Before a coin receives its design, large sheets of metal are cut into round pieces called planchets. These planchets are then fed into coin presses. If the cutting process overlaps incorrectly or the metal strip is not positioned properly, a blank may be missing part of its normal shape. After striking, the final coin may show a curved missing section. Collectors appreciate these errors because they show a mistake that happened before the coin even received its design. Die cracks and die breaks are also popular among collectors. Coin dies experience tremendous pressure during production. Over time, repeated strikes can weaken the die and create cracks. These cracks appear as raised lines on the finished coins. Some die cracks are small and common, while larger and more dramatic die breaks can attract stronger collector interest. A particularly exciting possibility is a wrong planchet error. This happens when a coin is struck on a blank intended for another denomination. For example, a cent might accidentally be struck on a blank meant for another coin size or metal composition. These events are extremely uncommon because the mint uses organized systems to prevent different planchets from mixing. If a genuine wrong planchet 1981 Lincoln cent were discovered, it would receive significant attention from collectors. The condition of a coin is another major part of determining value. Two coins from the same year can have completely different values depending on their preservation. A worn 1981 penny that spent years in circulation may only be worth its face value. A coin that was carefully stored after production and remains bright, sharp, and nearly perfect can be much more desirable. Professional coin grading helps establish the condition of a coin. Organizations that specialize in authentication and grading examine coins under controlled conditions. They look at factors such as wear, strike quality, surface condition, color, and overall appearance. A high grade can increase collector interest because exceptional examples are much harder to find. For copper coins like the 1981 Lincoln cent, color is especially important. Fresh copper has a bright red appearance, but natural aging causes copper to change. Collectors classify these coins as red, red-brown, or brown depending on how much original color remains. A beautiful red example with strong details can command a premium compared with a common brown circulated coin. The 1981 Lincoln cent also has different versions based on where it was produced. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins without a mint mark. The Denver Mint produced cents with a D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint produced proof versions with an S mint mark. Proof coins were made specifically for collectors and usually have sharper details and smoother surfaces than circulation coins. Proof coins are created using specially prepared dies and planchets. They receive extra attention during production, resulting in a more detailed appearance. Many collectors enjoy proof Lincoln cents because they represent the craftsmanship of the United States Mint. A high-quality proof example from 1981 can be a beautiful addition to a collection. The history of the 1981 Lincoln cent is also connected to changes in American economics. During the late 1970s and early 1980s, the price of copper increased. Since traditional pennies contained a large percentage of copper, the cost of producing them became a concern. The government eventually changed the composition of the cent in 1982, replacing the bronze alloy with a cheaper copper-plated zinc structure. Because of this change, 1981 cents represent the closing years of the traditional bronze penny era. Collectors often appreciate coins from the end of important periods because they mark a transition in history. The 1981 Lincoln cent is not rare simply because of its age, but it has historical significance as one of the final bronze cents. The fascination with valuable coins often comes from stories of ordinary people discovering rare treasures. Someone searching through a family collection may find a coin that looks different from the others. A small detail may lead to professional examination and, in rare cases, a valuable discovery. These stories inspire new collectors to learn more about coins. However, collectors must be careful because many exaggerated claims exist online. Headlines claiming that a common penny is worth millions of dollars often spread quickly because they attract attention. While rare coins can sell for impressive amounts, values must be supported by evidence. Auction history, professional grading, and expert opinions are the foundation of the coin market. A claim that a 1981 Lincoln cent has a current market value of $190 million is not supported by known sales records. The actual value depends on the specific coin. A regular circulated example may only be worth 1 cent, while a rare authenticated error could be worth significantly more. The difference between an ordinary coin and a valuable collectible comes from rarity, condition, and demand. The true beauty of the 1981 Lincoln cent is that it represents more than money. It represents American history, engineering, and craftsmanship. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln connects the coin to one of the nation's most important leaders. The design reflects decades of tradition. The metal composition tells the story of economic challenges. The possibility of errors creates excitement for collectors. Every 1981 Lincoln cent has traveled a different journey. Some remained hidden in collections for decades. Others passed through countless hands in everyday transactions. Some may have been lost, forgotten, or rediscovered years later. This journey is part of what makes coin collecting fascinating. Collectors often say that the thrill is not only finding an expensive coin but finding a coin with a story. A small copper piece can open the door to learning about history, manufacturing, and economics. The 1981 Lincoln cent continues to inspire curiosity because it proves that even ordinary objects can have extraordinary backgrounds. The search for rare coins requires patience, knowledge, and careful observation. Collectors study references, compare examples, and learn how to recognize genuine varieties and errors. The more someone learns about coins, the better they become at identifying interesting pieces. The 1981 Lincoln penny remains a popular collectible because it combines familiarity with possibility. It is common enough that many people can find one, yet interesting enough that collectors continue studying it. Its connection to the end of the bronze cent era gives it historical importance, while the possibility of rare errors keeps excitement alive. A true treasure is not always defined by a massive price tag. Sometimes the value of a coin comes from the history it represents and the knowledge it inspires. The 1981 Lincoln cent is a reminder that every coin has a story waiting to be discovered. The 1981 Lincoln cent continues to capture the imagination of collectors because it represents a unique combination of American history, traditional coin design, and the endless possibility of discovering something unusual. While most examples remain common coins found in circulation or old collections, some examples with special characteristics can become highly interesting to collectors. The journey of understanding a 1981 Lincoln penny requires looking deeper than just its face value. It involves studying its production, its metal composition, its design details, possible errors, and the reasons why certain coins become valuable. The process of creating a United States coin is highly organized and requires precision. The United States Mint produces coins through multiple stages, beginning with the preparation of metal sheets. These sheets are cut into round pieces called planchets. The planchets are then inspected, cleaned, and sent through powerful coin presses where engraved dies strike the designs onto both sides of the coin. The pressure used during striking is enormous, allowing the design details of Abraham Lincoln and the Lincoln Memorial to appear clearly. However, even with advanced technology, mistakes can happen. These mistakes are what create the fascinating world of error coins. Collectors often study errors because they provide evidence of something unusual occurring during the production process. A normal 1981 Lincoln cent represents millions of identical coins, but an error coin represents a unique moment when something went differently. One of the reasons error coins attract attention is because they are accidental creations. Unlike commemorative coins that are intentionally designed to be different, error coins were never supposed to exist. They escaped the normal quality control process and entered circulation or collector markets. This accidental nature gives them a special appeal. The 1981 Lincoln cent can potentially show several different types of minting errors. Each error type has different levels of rarity and collector interest. Some errors are relatively common, while others are extremely difficult to find. A major category of errors involves the coin die itself. The die is the tool that creates the design on the coin. If the die has a problem, every coin struck from that die can carry the same mistake. This is why certain varieties become collectible. A die problem can create unusual lettering, missing details, cracks, or doubled images. Doubled die errors are among the most famous in American coin collecting. Collectors have searched for doubled dies on Lincoln cents for generations. A genuine doubled die shows a clear separation between two images of the design. The doubling can appear on numbers, letters, or other details. The stronger and more visible the doubling, the more interest it may receive from collectors. Finding a doubled die on a 1981 Lincoln cent requires careful examination. Many people mistake ordinary imperfections for valuable errors. Small distortions caused by wear, scratches, or machine doubling are not the same as a true doubled die. Experts examine the coin under magnification and compare it with known examples before determining whether it is a genuine variety. Another fascinating possibility is a die crack. During the production of millions of coins, dies experience repeated pressure and stress. Over time, cracks can develop in the hardened metal. When the damaged die strikes coins, the crack appears as a raised line on the surface of the coin. Some die cracks are small and have little added value, while larger and more dramatic examples can attract collectors. A large die break that creates an unusual raised area on the coin may become a conversation piece because it shows the history of the manufacturing process. A related error is a cut error. A cut occurs when a portion of the die breaks away, leaving a missing section on the die. When coins are struck with this damaged die, a raised blank area appears on the coin. Large cut errors are especially interesting because they dramatically change the appearance of the coin. Another type of error collectors look for is a struck-through error. This happens when a foreign object comes between the die and the planchet during striking. The object can leave an unusual impression on the coin's surface. Depending on the object involved and the clarity of the impression, these errors can become collectible. The condition of a 1981 Lincoln cent is one of the most important factors in determining its value. A coin that has spent decades in circulation may have scratches, discoloration, and worn details. A coin that was carefully stored from the day it was produced may remain bright and attractive. Collectors often search for coins with original mint luster. Mint luster is the natural shine created when metal flows during the striking process. A coin with strong luster and no damage is usually more desirable than one that has been cleaned or altered. Cleaning is a major issue in coin collecting. Many people believe they can increase a coin's value by polishing it, but this often damages the original surface. Professional collectors prefer coins with natural surfaces because they show the true history of the piece. A cleaned coin may lose much of its collectible appeal. The 1981 Lincoln cent also exists in different finishes. Regular circulation coins were produced for everyday use, while proof coins were specially made for collectors. Proof coins have sharper details, smoother surfaces, and often a mirror-like appearance. These coins were packaged in official proof sets and were not intended for general circulation. San Francisco proof coins from 1981 carry the S mint mark. These coins are generally easier to find than major error coins but are popular because of their attractive appearance. Collectors often build complete Lincoln cent collections that include proof examples from every year. The Denver Mint produced many 1981 Lincoln cents with the D mint mark. Denver coins are common, but high-grade examples can still interest collectors. The Philadelphia Mint produced cents without a mint mark, following the traditional practice used on many United States coins. The copper composition of the 1981 Lincoln cent is another reason collectors appreciate it. Bronze cents have a different appearance and feel compared with modern zinc cents. Many collectors enjoy the weight, color, and historical connection of copper pennies. Copper coins also create challenges because copper reacts with the environment. Over time, exposure to air and chemicals can change the surface color. Some collectors prefer naturally toned coins, while others seek bright red examples that maintain their original appearance. The transition from bronze cents to copper-plated zinc cents changed American coin production forever. The 1981 Lincoln cent belongs to the final years before this transition, making it part of a historical period in United States coinage. Collectors who specialize in Lincoln cents often appreciate coins from important transition years. The popularity of Lincoln cents has created one of the largest collecting communities in the world. People of all ages collect them because they are affordable, familiar, and historically significant. Many collectors begin with Lincoln cents before moving into other areas of numismatics. A person searching through a collection of 1981 pennies may find different examples with different appearances. One coin may be heavily worn, another may have bright red color, another may have a mint error. This variety is what makes coin collecting exciting. The idea of finding a valuable penny creates a sense of adventure. People enjoy the possibility that a forgotten coin in a drawer or old container could be something special. Although extremely valuable discoveries are rare, the search itself teaches patience and attention to detail. The market value of a 1981 Lincoln cent depends entirely on the individual coin. A normal circulated coin generally has little value above 1 cent. A beautiful uncirculated example may sell for more. A certified rare error could bring a much higher price depending on collector demand. Claims of a $190 million market value for a 1981 Lincoln cent are not supported by verified auction results. The highest prices in the coin world belong to extremely rare and historically important coins. A 1981 penny would need an extraordinary and unique combination of rarity and importance to reach exceptional prices. However, the lack of a $190 million value does not make the coin uninteresting. The true importance of the 1981 Lincoln cent comes from its history and the stories behind it. It represents the final era of traditional bronze pennies, the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, and the craftsmanship of American coin production. Collectors continue studying these coins because every piece has the potential to reveal something new. A small detail hidden under magnification may tell a story about how the coin was made. A rare error may reveal a mistake that occurred decades ago inside the mint. A well-preserved example may show what the coin looked like when it first entered the world. The 1981 Lincoln cent reminds collectors that value is not always measured only by money. Some coins are valuable because of rarity, some because of history, and some because they inspire curiosity. This small copper coin continues to connect people with the past and keeps the excitement of discovery alive. The 1981 United States 1-cent coin, known around the world as the Lincoln Penny, remains one of the most recognizable and interesting coins in American history. Although it was produced in enormous numbers and most examples are still worth only their face value or a small premium, the coin continues to attract collectors because of its history, design, composition, and the possibility of finding a rare and unusual example. Every 1981 Lincoln cent carries the story of a changing America. It was produced during a period when the country was experiencing economic changes, especially related to the rising cost of copper. The traditional bronze composition that had been used for decades was becoming expensive, and this eventually led to one of the biggest changes in modern United States coin production. In 1982, the Lincoln cent moved from bronze to a copper-plated zinc composition, making the 1981 penny one of the final regular-issue bronze cents. This historical connection gives the 1981 Lincoln cent a special place among collectors. It represents the end of an era when American pennies were made with a heavier copper content and had a different feel, weight, and appearance compared with later cents. Many collectors appreciate these coins not only for their potential value but also because they preserve a piece of American manufacturing history. The design of the 1981 Lincoln penny continues the famous tradition created by Victor David Brenner. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse has become one of the longest-running designs in United States coin history. Lincoln's image represents leadership, unity, and the preservation of the nation. The inscriptions surrounding his portrait connect the coin to important American ideals such as freedom, trust, and liberty. The reverse design featuring the Lincoln Memorial also carries deep historical meaning. The memorial represents the memory of Abraham Lincoln and his contributions to the United States. The words E pluribus unum remind collectors of the idea that many individuals and states come together as one nation. Even a small 1-cent coin carries powerful symbols of American identity. For collectors searching for valuable 1981 Lincoln cents, the most important factors are authenticity, rarity, condition, and demand. A coin must be carefully examined before any value can be determined. Many people discover old pennies and believe they have found a fortune, but professional evaluation is necessary to separate ordinary coins from truly collectible examples. A genuine error coin can make a significant difference in value. Errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and other unusual minting mistakes are what makes certain Lincoln cents more desirable. These errors are valuable because they are accidental and because each one tells a story about the complicated process of producing billions of coins. A rare 1981 Lincoln cent error would need to be carefully authenticated by experts. Professional grading companies examine coins using advanced techniques to determine whether an error is genuine and to evaluate the overall condition of the coin. Authentication protects collectors and helps establish confidence in the marketplace. The dream of finding a rare penny worth a huge amount of money continues to attract new collectors every year. Stories about valuable coins inspire people to search through old collections, inherited coins, and forgotten containers. While most searches do not result in a million-dollar discovery, the excitement comes from the possibility that something unusual may be waiting to be found. The claim that a 1981 Lincoln penny has a market value of $190 million is not confirmed by reliable coin market records. Such extremely high values are usually associated with unique historic coins, not ordinary circulation cents. The true value of a 1981 Lincoln cent depends on the specific characteristics of the individual coin. A normal circulated 1981 Lincoln cent may only be worth 1 cent. A high-quality uncirculated example may have a higher collector value. A certified rare error or exceptional specimen could potentially bring a much larger amount depending on rarity and demand. The coin market rewards verified uniqueness, not just age or internet popularity. Collectors should remember that preserving a coin is extremely important. Cleaning, polishing, or altering a coin can reduce its value because collectors prefer original surfaces. The best way to care for a coin is to store it properly in a protective holder and avoid unnecessary handling. The 1981 Lincoln cent teaches an important lesson about collecting. Every coin has a story. A penny that appears ordinary may have traveled through thousands of transactions, passed through many hands, and survived decades of history. Some coins remain hidden for years before being discovered by someone who recognizes their importance. Coin collecting is not only about finding expensive items. It is about learning. By studying a 1981 Lincoln cent, collectors can explore the history of Abraham Lincoln, the technology of the United States Mint, the economics of metal prices, and the fascinating science behind coin production. The popularity of Lincoln cents proves that even the smallest objects can have a major impact. Millions of people around the world enjoy collecting these coins because they are accessible, educational, and connected to American history. The 1981 penny may not be a guaranteed fortune, but it remains a fascinating piece of the past. The true treasure of the 1981 Lincoln cent is the story it carries. It represents a moment before a major change in American coinage. It carries the image of one of the nation's greatest leaders. It shows the skill of American engravers and the complexity of modern manufacturing. It reminds collectors that history can be found in unexpected places. For anyone searching for a valuable 1981 Lincoln penny, patience and knowledge are the greatest tools. Examine the details, learn about genuine errors, protect the coin's condition, and seek professional advice when necessary. The most valuable discoveries come from careful observation and understanding. The world of coin collecting will always be filled with excitement because every coin has a possibility. A small copper piece sitting unnoticed in a collection may hold a story that has not yet been discovered. That mystery is what keeps collectors searching. The 1981 United States 1-cent Lincoln penny is more than just a piece of currency. It is a symbol of American history, craftsmanship, and curiosity. Whether found in a pocket, an old jar, or a carefully organized collection, it remains a reminder that even the smallest coins can connect us to the past. While the legendary $190 million valuation is not supported by official records, the real value of the 1981 Lincoln cent comes from its history, its design, and the excitement it creates among collectors. A coin does not need to be worth millions to be important. Sometimes the greatest treasure is the knowledge, history, and discovery that comes with holding a piece of the past in your hand.